Good evening. I hope everyone is doing great. I'm about 10 minutes early than initially, but I wanted to go ahead and get started because I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting kind of tired. I got everything done kind of early today, which is very rare of me. So I'm a little on the tired side, I'm not gonna lie. So I want to go ahead and get this little started just a little early, so I hope y'all don't mind. So I'm going to just hold off for a minute, see if anyone pops on. All that, I'm trying to get my screen here popped up so that way we can go ahead and get started. I hope you guys aren't upset that I'm starting a little early. And I apologize if you hear TV in the background. Those are my sons watching the new Home Alone. I think what it was. So they're really excited to have the Home Alone. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, I see everyone's popping on.
If you're a college student, keep watching.
Awesome. Don't care. There we go. Don't mind me, I'm just off screen for a second. Okay. So everyone's slowly trickling on, so let's just talk for a few. Hope you don't mind. So today we are going to do and learn about tea leaf reading, is what most people know it as. But its technical term is, ooh, no, hold on. I'm sorry, technical term is tasseomancy. So it's the art of reading the leaves. So it's just another form of divination. And you know, with October, we did a lot of different types of divination that a lot of people might not be familiar with or really never thought, hey, I didn't know that could be a divination. This is another one. This is one of the ones that can be a divination. And it's just, like I said, the art of reading the leaves. Now, one really cool thing about this is you can use green tea, a little bit, not fine, but not like Dragon's Well green tea where it's really like balled up. You kind of want like the happy middle. Like Sencha, that's a very good one because you can crush it a little bit if you want, or you can leave it as is. I crush it just a little bit to help when it, you know, disperses in the cup. You can also use coffee if you're a coffee drinker. Coffee grinds work just fine. Or you can use very, you know, herbal type of herbs, but herbal type of herbs. Look at me talking and I'm not making sense tonight. But you got to watch what type of herbs you use. You don't want to use anything too bulky. But at the same time, you can also use dry fruit too if you put that in your tea. So there's going to be different ways you can do tea leaf reading. I will tell you of 2 ways that I was taught how to do it. I'll tell you the actual way that I do it, but I do know of a secondary way. And it's just really the different way of pouring the tea. Some people put it, the herbs in the actual teapot first, then pour it into a cup. So let the herbs kind of seep into the cup based on its own intention. Or some people put the herbs in the cup first, then pour the hot water, let it seep that way. Okay, so there's just, well, that I know of 2 different ways, but there's probably about a bazillion different ways because everyone's gonna do something different, right? So why do tea leaf reading? Well, why not, right? I'm just pulling up the live here, guys, don't mind me. But why not? Why not do tea leaf reading? It's just another form of divination. It's very easy to do if you drink tea. And honestly, it's really a lot of fun. So I think it's a good idea. So don't mind me, I'm looking off to the side. Hi everyone, I'm just not seeing your comments. I do apologize. My phone's not picking up, so it's really a good thing that I have my computer today. Oh, no worries. Please do stop in, even if it's for a little bit. Good morning. I have a tea ready try looking for symbols. When I finish, always have had an interest in this. Ooh, perfect. Heather says, my BFF in high school was Palestinian. Her mom would make us Turkish coffee and read the grounds. It was very cool. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so that's really cool. I like that. Okay, so, but why read the leaves? Like I said, it's really easy, especially if you're a tea or coffee drinker. And it's just another tool in the toolbox as a spiritual seeker, as a healer, because one, drinking tea itself is amazing. It's medicinal, it's spiritual, it all depends on the intent of the tea. So, any questions thus far? Like I said, if you want to read more on tasseomancy, if you want to read more on tasseomancy, there's tons of information on it. I'm just going to jump in it and we're going to work on it, and then I'm going to explain why I see things the way I do, why I, do things the way I do. And then we'll go from there. Everything good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the things that you're going to need, one, you're going to need a notebook and a pen to write down your version of symbols. Now, I put a couple different, I think I put like 3 different things that give you symbols and what they might mean, what they might represent. But I'm going to tell you this from personal experience. For my new and older witches, you write your own symbols and their meanings. If you think a crow represents death because you follow Morgan Le Fay even, or just the Morgan, then you let that represent death. If you think of death as in the death card of tarot, where it's, death and then rebirth, then that is your interpretation of a crow. If you see a crossroad and, like an X, and you want it to represent a crossroad in life or crossroad in general, you can think of it this way. Maybe I want crossroads to represent pacts. Maybe pacts with the demons, pacts with, what you decide in life. Or if you want the crossroad to actually represent what a lot of the times it means, I have something to figure out. Which way do I go? I'm stuck and I need to get out of it. So then you write down, hey, this is what I'm going to let the crossroad represent. If you have a rose, but you don't want roses to represent, love and passion and beauty in romance, maybe you want to think of it as a rose with thorns and represent the thorns as, a more of a deadly type of symbolism. Then you write your own. You see what I mean? I don't like following everyone else's version of symbols. I like writing my own, and your list will go on. So I always recommend getting journal, paper, even type it out. And as I go and I start seeing new symbols, what comes to my mind when I see that symbol? If I see an axe, what does it mean to me? What does an axe mean? Am I chopping down something in life? Am I letting it represent my Norse path? Am I letting it represent being a warrior? Or do I see a sword and let the sword represent a warrior? And as I start thinking of, things, the moment I see a symbol, I'm writing it down. And then I'm adding it to the list and adding another and adding another. And it helps because they're my representations of the symbols. Not someone from, 20 years ago that sat there and said, if you see a cloud, that means you're a dreamer. Well, what if I wanted a cloud to be a bad thing? What if I want cloud to represent the rainfall, and from the rainfall clearing my intentions and clearing myself and cleansing myself? What if I want the cloud to represent that? Because that's what I think of every time I see a cloud. So who's to say I'm wrong? Yeah. All right, let me get a couple on these. These. See, just like Eva says, it's so much more personal when you do your own symbols, and I 100% agree. I'm gonna love that. Comment on it if I can. Love. Okay. So yeah, I just highly recommend creating your own representations of your symbols and writing them down, okay? Because here's another reason. It is so hard for you to read something and then have to look through a bunch of pages. Go, oh my gosh, what is it? What is it? What is it? Where's my symbols? Where's my symbols? And then have to read your symbols. By you writing your own, you become more fluent with your own representation of it. So it's something to stick. So everything I gave you are actually my representations of my symbols. That is what I see. That is what I feel, you know, anytime. And I get new ones all the time. Like I was actually watching, well, that's a story for another day. But I was watching something and someone was seeing something different than what I was seeing. And I was like, no, that card, I see this in it. But the book said something completely different. But the way I read it, it worked for that person. Because that's what I seen and that's what I felt. And it also based off the other cards I seen too. And that's exactly how it's going to work when it comes to tea leaf reading too. Boys! I know it's funny, honey. Okay. So enough of my chit chat on symbolism because it's one of my biggest pet peeves. So it's something I'm very passionate about. Hey, no Houdini. You're on timeout, mister. Okay, so what you're going to need. What do you need? Oh, yeah, he didn't get out yet, but he's trying. Okay, you're going to need, like I said, the tea leaves. You can use green tea, you can use coffee grinds, or you can use some loose leaf teas, but keep it more like lemongrass, lemon balm, red rooibos. I'm trying to think of a good one too. That's not too fine. What did I use? Oh, those are the ones I use. You can use cinnamon sticks too if you want. Those are always nice because they actually like make the line. Hey, no. Oh my word, this kitten. But anyway, so you need, you know, some tea. Then you're going to need hot water, but not boiling hot, but hot enough because you want it to seep. And then you're going to need a teacup with a saucer. Okay, and I'm going to show you two different types of teacups I have. Now this one is a little taller, so it has a more narrow inside. All right, mine's a standard basic white on the inside. Easy to be able to read the leaves because I can see it against the white. Now they have teacups out there that are for tasseomancy. You can find them on Amazon. It has a bunch of symbols and everything's cut and it looks really pretty. It's great. I'm different. I don't like them. I think they're okay. They're pretty to look at, but I am a traditionalist. I love the original. Hey, stop. And then you need the saucer to go with it. Now, one thing with teacups, okay? You see how this is underneath the brim? You want to make sure you have that. If you have the teacup that comes over the brim, it won't work as well because when you go to flip it, it's going to get caught on the saucer and you don't want that because you want this to sit perfectly flush, okay? Now they have, now like I said, this is the taller one with the brim on the inside, but they also have teacups like this, which are a little bit smaller. See, you can see the difference in them, okay? But this is more open, okay? So it might be easier for you in general if you have more of a brim like this. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use tonight. I haven't figured it out. To me, it doesn't really matter, okay? Because I can look at them both ways. Whichever one I feel like using when I use it. Newbie. He's a Houdini. I'm telling you. He gets in trouble and then he's like, I'm going to get out anyways. So you need a teacup and a saucer. Let's see, what else? Did I forget anything else? Oh, and I highly recommend for you new tea leaf readers, napkin. And why I say this is because when we go to actually flip it over, you're going to have about a teaspoon of liquid still on the inside, the tea in the inside. So when you flip it, that's gonna seep. And if you're not quick enough, you'll make a mess all on this. So I highly recommend putting this on top. And also that way, you know, some people don't like noise either, like this teacup sound of the porcelain. So when you know, flip it, it's a sound thing because being a clairaudient, sometimes sounds are, that's why I can't do bells well. All right, let us see. Did I forget anything? No, I did not. Okay, so those are what you actually need. Let me catch up here. And actually, the one that comes with the actual saucer, this was a gift actually from one of our sisters, Ashley. So this was a gift. And then these I found at thrift stores. I have a set of 4 and I fell in love with them because I love the actual leaves on them and they're absolutely beautiful. Then I actually have classic ones that came all the way from Wales that were technically given to my dad from his twin aunts who originated from Wales, and those stayed in my hutch, and I don't touch them because they're legit real ones. So they're just too special to me. So I have those. Monica says, I got myself one of the cups with the symbols for now. And like I said, when you're starting out, it's really good because it already cuts everything you need to know. So when I say cut, so let me tell you a little bit about that too. So when we're reading our tea leaves, you want the handle to be facing to the left, okay? This is your, like, closest to you problems. Anything on the outside are to come, or things that are manifesting into being issues you might have to work with. But these are, anything on this side is an internal issue of a now, okay? So that's why I say you always want the tea leaf, when you're reading it, you want the handle to be left, okay? I don't know if to you might look to the right, but to me, this is facing the left. So you want it to be the left. Nubis. Now, when it comes to the cup too, so when we do this, you're going to have to envision this cup being cut in half. The brim actually being cut in half down here, okay? So it's going to be like right about here. And you want to kind of think of that having a line, because we then are going to have to look at this as like a month. So this whole cup symbolizes 1 year, okay? This top part, so from, here's my left, I'm gonna move up. So from here in 1/4 is 0 to 3 months. Then cut the next half. You're gonna get 3 to 6. So 0 to 3, 3 to 6, come downwards, and you got 6 to 9, and then 9 to 12, completing 1 full year. So that is a time frame when it comes to a cup too. So everything tea leaf wise is 1 year based off of, okay? That's one way to look at it. Let me let him out before he drives us insane. Come on. You're so loud today. He's just mad because he got a bath and a botched haircut. That might have been my fault. Anyways, so yeah, so you want to, like I said, think of it as 1 full year. And like I said, you're just cutting it. So the top half of the cup is 6 months. The bottom half is the other 6 months of the year, okay? I also like to look at it as beginning of the year to the end of the year, okay? So even though, like I said, 0 to 3 months, okay, well, this year is what? We're in November. Okay, so from November now to X amount of months, okay? But I also sometimes need to look at it as this is the first half of the year in general. This is the last half of the year. This is the light side of the year. This is the dark side of the year, okay? Just something. Go away, dogs. I love you, but gosh, you're killing me tonight. So that's another way of looking at it. I'm trying to think, did I forget anything? Where did tea leaf reading originate? Oh, you're really asking, aren't you? Hold on, let's find out. Because I don't know off the top of my head. I will not lie, and I will not say I know something when I don't. Tea leaf reading origin. Southwestern China. That is actually where it originated from. Which would make sense. Yes. But then again, I'm going to say this. A lot of people will sit there and say that, oh no, my culture did, or my culture this and that. But, you know, so says Google. It actually originated in China from a Chinese emperor. Okay. I hope that answered your question, because I actually didn't know that. No. And please ask the questions. That's why I got my computer today, just in case I got those, because, hey, I had a feeling someone was going to ask, and I didn't have the answer. But every culture probably had their, beginning. Just by the record books, it does state that it was China. Okay. No, please. Okay, Laura says, would where the handle be current date and move forward with months from there? Yes. By textbook, that is, exactly right. That's why I said it depends on you when you read it. Because from here, which is your current issue, this will start from November, December, and January. Then February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, November. And we're back to square one. So yeah, like I said, traditionally, that's exactly... I'm sorry, my messages are blowing up. So traditionally, yes, you always want to start with the current month that you're in. So no worries on that. But like I said, sometimes if I'm looking at more of a futuristic, then that's when I see the light half of the year to the dark half of the year. And it also depends if you're reading on a physical basis or a spiritual basis. I like to do a lot of my readings on a spiritual basis to see what's wrong spiritually. But a lot of people will read, hey, what's going on now? Am I having issues with my marriage? Am I having issues with my relationships? Am I having issues with this and that? So yeah, no worries on that. Like I said, it's always your own interpretation. Okay, sorry, I was just getting caught up in the message. All right, so here's my blend that I just created. I have a little bit of Sancha green tea. I have lemongrass. Sorry, I had to remember what I put in here. And then I have a little bit of, what else did I put in here? Lemongrass, green. Oh, that's it. I just put those two. Now, one of two ways. You can put it, let me grab this one here. And I'm going to actually pull everything down so you can see it when we make it. But just to give you an idea what I mean. So I don't break this here. So you can put it in a little teapot, okay? And this would be a good one to do because it's see-through. But you can put your water in here, and then you can pour your tea all the way in here. Do not use a infuser, okay? You don't want any of that. You want it to literally mesh with the water. You want it to actually completely seep water to herb. So you can use this and then pour it into your tea cup, or my way of doing it. So I look at what I have. We're going to use this teacup just because we can. So, hey, turn that down, please. Okay. Austin, I said no laptops, baby. I didn't put a new one on. Okay, so I'm going to use this teacup. This is my herb, or my tea, I should say. I like to actually put it in one bowl, blend it together with my, hands. All intention-based, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Now, a lot of people are like, okay, so when I'm doing this, I'm thinking of my question. No. That's not how I do it. I will take some tea, and I will put it in my bowl. Now, the question is, how much do you use? You gotta kind of figure out your own... What, Lukey? Austin, please turn it off now. You kind of gotta decide what you want to do, how much you want to use. That's all on you. I feel weird, like I'm too far away. Go sit down. Put YouTube on. Take your water. This is hot water in here. Well, it's not like hot, but it's enough for me. And then I will make a mess. No, a little bit of a mess. I will pour it in. So of course it looks like so, okay? Now some people want more. You can put more water in if you want. You can keep it about half full. I like to do half full because I only use about 2 pinch of tea that I actually infused in it. Now I will swish it around and I will let it seep. Now that's the time part, okay? So if you're, and we're gonna do this because, you know, there are people that want to start doing these kind of things for money, and that's, hey, that's on you, okay? But if you're doing this with money, if you have a client, I highly recommend that you guys talk about what possibly, you know, kind of questions she's gonna want. So, you know, her whole thing is, you know, I have some issues with, we'll say, relationship. 1, 2, I can see your shadows. Give me the tablet. I can see your shadows. And as soon as I'm done, you and both of you are mine. Do I make myself clear? Every time I do a live, you guys just can't stop. But like if it's a relationship issue, you know, have her kind of do this with it and just have her kind of start thinking about it. If she just wants to say to you, you know, yeah, this is about my relationship, like this is hardcore. If she doesn't want to speak at all, or he, then they do not have to. But have them think about what they want to ask or what problems they're having. No, you guys are good. No worries, Gina, and no worries, Eva. So have them think about what they're, you know, what they want to do. I recommend with, you know, green tea, infusing about like 2 to like 4 minutes. You don't really need much because it's a small cup of tea. Just let it infuse. Now, the best part that I love watching people do this on is watching them drink the tea with the herbs inside, because you kind of got to do this weird thing of you got to catch the herbs with your teeth in a way, so that way you don't swallow all the herbs. Now, if you swallow a little bit of herbs, you used very general basic herbs that are actually very good for you in their own medicinal way. So no worries on that. Turn it down. Way down. So it's not a really big issue. And I always think of it this way. Hey, if they swallowed that herb or that one part of that herb, then it wasn't meant to be red. It was just meant to infuse in them. So hey, that's on them, right? So as we're just sitting here waiting, I'm just gonna put my little napkin on my saucer. Now me, since technically I'm doing a reading for myself, I'm gonna deal more with my spiritual side because that's just how I am. So I'm not gonna tell you what I am saying, but I'm sure you'll figure out when we do the reading. So as it's gonna infuse, it's going to seep into the herbs, and it's going to, you know, it's gonna harness its own energy is what it's really gonna do, just to be honest, you know. And if they want to kind of like swirl it around a little bit, that's not an issue. It's not gonna hurt anything. Now, remember I told you, if you go and, you know, have someone do a tea leaf reading for you for money, they can quite possibly do it a whole different way than I do it. I like doing it this way. I kind of do appreciate the ones that do it in the tea kettle. They put the herbs in there and let the herbs fall into the teacup. So, you know, that way it was more, those leaves wanted to be red automatically. But I like doing it this way because I don't mind drinking herbs. So I find it a challenge to see how well I can not consume the herbs. Let's see. Monica says, can you drink it out of a straw? I have one of those straws that are meant for loose leaf. You can. Do I recommend it? No. And the reason why I don't really recommend drinking out of straw is because I want to infuse my energy with this teacup itself. So I want to physically be able to touch it and drink its essence from the tea itself, which one is going to medicinally help me in whatever way it's going to medicinally help me. And two, it's going to connect with my own life force. So that's why I said I always like to actually physically touch it when I drink it. But I know what you're talking about. I've seen those for tea leaves, for the loose leaf ones. For this, I recommend actually touching it. And another reason why is because the placement of the herbs is going to do its own thing. So if you drink it, it might just go straight down. I like the whole tip, and then when you have that little bit, like I said, about a teaspoon of the tea will still be in there. So when we flip it, it'll disperse, the leaves will disperse themselves. But it makes it really, really easy to read. That's just my recommendation. But you can try it that way and see if it works for you. Because, hey, if you can find that way of getting it, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way I would recommend personally. Gina says they make special special cups with strainers that you can use if you want to be prissy. You do not stir it up at all? Nope. You literally just let the herbs do their own thing. So like I said, you can kind of do this with it if you want, but the herbs are going to disperse where they want to go. I just let it sit. And then mine's almost ready here. So, cheers. This is the fun part. This is the part that's like watching people like, ooh, how much tea leaf are you going to get in your teeth? Oh, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. Did I get any on me? Just a little bit more. I got just a little bit more. But like I said, you want about like a little tablespoon. I have just a little bit more, or teaspoon, I'm sorry. I have just a little bit more than that, so I'm just going to drink just a little bit more. That's good. So this is what mine looks like. And you can see that I have a little bit. So that'll help when I go to flip it on the saucer itself. But looks a little silly, right? Okay, so I'm going to disperse. Now, you could do this one of two ways. If you think you're going to be fancy and you want to actually I'll use the spare cup, empty one. You want to be fancy and be like, whoosh. I'm not that awesome. I will have it everywhere. So what I like to do is I will take my saucer and I will place it on top. Make sure it's even. And then I will just set it down. Now this is the most crucial part. Take your hands, or that person who's ever you're reading for. Make sure that the thing is turned towards you. Have them cup it. Have them concentrate on what they want. Ooh, that was intense. Okay, so that's what you're gonna have them do. Oh, I'm sorry, my feed's blowing up again. All right. Now, how long you wait is kind of gonna sit on you also. I like to give it a little bit because I like the leaves to actually kind of dry just a little bit, but not too long, and we won't do that. But normally I like to give it like a good solid minute or 2 minutes. So I'd say we got another like 20 seconds. So I guess you gotta hear me talk for another 20 seconds before I'll lift it. All about intention on what that person needs to know. I love doing general reads on tea leaves, and this is actually newer for me. So this, I say this is actually probably about 3 months. I think I've been practicing this for only about 3 months. That's it. This is not one that I was like, oh, hey, yeah, I love teas. I make my own teas. I sell my own teas, yada, yada, yada. I know how to do this. I never even thought to do tea leaf reading. I didn't know if I can understand the symbolism of it. I didn't understand if I could just know how to do it. So I researched and I researched and I researched, and here we are today. And I mean, I think I sound pretty confident because I feel confident in being able to read basics. I've read only 3 people besides myself, and I haven't had an issue like with it yet. And I haven't been far off, so I'm still honing into my own like fine line perfections. All right, so I think we should be good, right? So all you're gonna do is you're literally going to pick up. Okay, now you see how the brim is? And then I'm going to flip it. Okay, I'll move. See, that's what was just not meant to be. That's what you want. You want anything excess not to be. Now this, move it up just a little bit. This is what my teacup actually looks like. Now, my handle is to the left, like we said earlier. And this is what I have. And the reason why I say you want it to dry a little bit is because if you tilt it like that, it won't move. And if it moves, it's very minimal. But this is what I got, okay? Can you see in the light? Maybe turn this way. Oh, this way. There we go. Trying to get the shadows out of there as much as possible. So, just out of curiosity, what do you guys see from this angle? Put some in the comments. Put what you guys see. What images are you gathering from this? Oh, see, one fell off. So, if I'm looking at it like we said before, okay, where this is 0 to 3 months. So it looks like 0 to 3 months, I don't really have anything going on. So it's not a quick here and now. And I really don't have anything from 3 to 6 months either. My issue is solely later in the year. So in about 6 months to 12 months time frame is what I have coming, or, you know, what I need to be more focused and worried on. So let me just go ahead and throw this back up here. Maybe that'll be a little bit better for you guys. Try to get the light to help you out. There we go. Now, I'm gonna turn it and see if you guys see anything else if I turn it a different way. Right now, I just want general imagery, general symbolism. I'm not looking at the time frames or anything like that. I just want to see what you guys see. Anything this way? Let me turn it this way. See, we got a swirl, a 3-way swirl. I see a roof and like a house. Hello, I'm watching for my break. Hey, Jody. Turn it this way. See if you guys see anything that angle. Gina says she sees a rabbit face, man looking down, a house, a duckling, ram. Monica sees a snake. A little more. Ronnie says, well, I see a dragon hatchling. Anyone else? And then I will go ahead and tell you what I see. All right. So, let me bring this up just a little bit so you can actually see me this time. All right. So what I see for me is I do see the man, and he is more of Odin because he only has one side of the eye showing. So for some reason, I'm drawing a lot to Odin himself, which is not surprising considering this is a divination style and he is the god of heavy wisdom and insight. I do see dragons, a lot of them, which, again, considering what my question was, that does not surprise me, and that only confirms that I need to do further meditation because I've been lacking. Makes 100% perfect sense. If I'm looking at on a different half of the year, they're pretty much telling me that I need to stop trying to like push through my own practice. They're also telling me that I need to stop grouping my whole life together. And the reason I say that is because see how compacted it is here? Even though I can see a face and the dragon in different ways, no matter which way I turn it, I see a different dragon. So that actually kind of gives me a little bit more of a Hydra kind of feel to it, where if you cut off a head, 2 more, 3 more grow, which means that, hey, you know, I have to stop trying to multitask too much. I have to step back. I have to literally be that one dragon and not the multi-head one, because it's not going to work out for me because I'm stressing myself out for no reason. That's why I say it when I turn it, I see multiple dragons. First thing that came to my mind, Hydra, multiple heads. You see how that worked? When I seen the face, but I only seen, which is really cool. Let's see if I can actually show you how I seen it. Okay, so I see the face through here. Right in here is where I see the face. I only see one eye here. This one is like it's been blacked out, kind of like it's been ripped out. That's why I said when I see that, I think of Odin, because he only has technically one eye. So yeah. So for what my question was is, why am I so blocked? What am I doing wrong? That was my sole question. And it very easily came out. I'm taking on too much, and it's literally suffocating me. Now that's just looking at it. Then as I started seeing the dragons, the Hydra, seeing Odin saying, hey, it's time to come back. It's time to step back. It's time to refocus on you and stop focusing on everyone else and trying to fix everything, because it's not really your sole job to do it. It's your job to assist in things. And that is what I got from my tea leaf reading. Now, in a cup like this, you could have used only 1 pinch of tea, and you might have gotten different types of images. You could have just used green tea. I like using lemongrass also because they give you the sticks, which kind of, I don't know, give it more of a dimensional type of reading. That's my personal, but you don't have to. Coffee grinds are really good too. You can always use coffee grinds. So, what do you guys think? Questions? please ask. I love questions. Comments? Curiosities? I would love for you guys to do this. Like I said, you can get kind of teacups at thrift stores. They're really cheap. I paid 25 cents per cup. No lie, 25 cents. And I'm in love with these. See what I mean? Absolutely beautiful. 25 cents. And most of them come with the saucers too, because, you know, these, honestly, no one drinks out of these cups nowadays. They drink, you know, the big boys like this, you know what I mean? This is the cups that, you know, everyone drinks out of. No one drinks out of the old school traditional teacups where, you know, you invited friends over to have a cup of tea. Well, my witches and spiritual seekers, I'm inviting you all to have a cup of tea the old way and see what you come up with. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be great. And you'll be surprised too what you are gonna see. So start looking at pictures. There are a couple tea leaf books out there. Actually, do I have them over here? Hold on, I might actually have. That's just potion or herbs. I know I have a tea leaf book around here somewhere. Or you know what? It might be in my other 7 shelves. All the way out there. So yeah, but let me go get it because it's show and tell after all. All right. So there's this really cool handy dandy little tea leaf reading book. It's yay big, so tiny, so cute. But what's really cool about it is your on the go tea leaf book. And in this little book are symbols and representation. So like right here, symbol of an X, okay? And it breaks it down for you. I know it might be a little hard for you guys to see it, but I'll read it to you. Treasure map X, this symbol warns of conflicts and arguments. Keep your own counsel. Tell no one. Trust your instincts. Also can represent broken promises. The truth will set you free. So it gives you a lot. It even tells you how to do tea leaf reading. It's all in this tiny little book. What type of teas are good? What, you know, like I said, a lot of things symbolize crowns, eyes, so on and so on. So it's a good little book. This is something that you can get on Amazon. Maybe I should read that way. This doesn't say who it's from that I can read. I lied. It's called Running Presses, but tea leaf reading is what it's called. Little tiny book. Kathy actually got me this. You know, nice little on the go kind of thing. Then you can always get this book. It's really good. I do recommend it. It teaches you how, like what teas are good for you, but you can also use it if you want to figure out what herbs you want to use. But it's this one. So Herbal Tea Magic for the Modern Witch. I'm not all about modern things, but I do think this is a great book. It's got a lot in there. I do highly recommend it. It's all about enchantments on how to brew and stuff. And it does give you symbolism also. Like I said, you pick and choose what you want. I highly recommend that. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And there are books out there that will give you those symbolisms. Then there's an actual tea leaf reading book. This is from Sandra Wright. It's really good. It's literally called Tea Leaves, Reading Tea Leaves. So this is a good book too. Highly recommend. It tells you about brewing a cup of tea. It gives you 200 tested symbols as well as their size, location, and relationship to other symbols. It talks about setting intent. It talks about creating a regular tea ritual. How to perform readings for family and friends, recipes, and also how to respond when a bad symbol shows up. So, let's see if I can find that one. And you can actually write in it too, if you want. I never do. I have a different, like, journal for everything. You can also celebrate with loved ones and honor the present of time. You can celebrate and honor the old or the forgotten, as I always like to call them. But yeah, it's a really good book. I use this more on like how to learn it, because there are some cups that actually have like the astrology symbols on it too. So if you're really good at astrology and you want to look at it based off of this astrology, like I got this on this side, this on Mars, this on Jupiter, that'll help too. I don't use that. I'm a very basic, simple kind of witch. I don't know shit. But then there are also teacups that will divide it literally into its own symbols. So you'll see teacups where, so if you look at like the edge, there'll actually be printed a sword, a crown, a dog, a cat, a house, and wherever those tea leaves fall, because you'll use very minimal on that one, but wherever those tea leaves fall, that's the issues you have to, worry about. I like making my own interpretation. I like feeling my own way and seeing things differently. But as a beginner, go for it. My beginnerness is like, hey, let's do it the hard way and see what we get, because that's what's fun. But I do, like I said, I'm not knocking the ones that are already laid out, because, hey, it has made it easy for you. I'm just, the hard witch that's like, I'm broke, so I'm gonna get a teacup. Basic white teacup. Let's see if I miss anything. Christy says, I need to find a teacup now. Like I said, if any thrift stores, and actually, like, sometimes I've seen them at Walmart where you have, you can get like a little set. I know Amazon sells actual sets of teacups. I actually got one for Serenity for her wedding. And they're really pretty and they work perfectly. And they're not too expensive. I think some of them because of, where they come from. But like I said, I'm cheap, so I got this baby. I see a duck in here too, by the way. Not really sure. Oh, no, it's not a duck. That's a dragon. Ronnie says, I have met an older Chinese lady. She came by today. I wonder if I ask her for some insight. She is from China. Let's see more. Crazy she likes me. I mean, definitely check it out. Ask. Because they do their own, the way they brew tea, like, I have been watching this one class, and I'm so tempted to try and take it, even though I don't like paying for classes, but sometimes you have to nowadays. And I'm really curious on how they prep their tea and make their tea and all that, because I love that their little cups that they drink in, and I love, their meaning of why they drink tea, and just the relationship and the closeness of offering someone a cup of tea. It's always their go-to is a cup of tea. Oh, I'm glad this was fun, Ronnie. I enjoyed doing this. This was fun. I'm not gonna lie, this was fun for me too. Paint by number tea leaves. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Paint by the number. This is what you get. This is what you figure out. Let's see. Did I forget anything? But yeah, if you see, okay, so, Ronnie, you've seen, a swirl, right? That can mean creativity. You said you've seen 3 swirls. That could definitely mean the Triskel, so that could definitely go hand in hand with Morgan. She can definitely be calling me, which, again, wouldn't surprise me because she's one of the other ones that's like, hey, What? Where have you been? She's another one. Like, I'm not an idiot. Trying to think what else. If you see a horseshoe, of course, that's an easy one. Luck. Maybe if it's in reverse, that could be bad luck. A heart, easily, you know, love. Hey, negative. Stop. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't forget to tell you guys anything. Like a duck, I mean, I've literally seen people say duck's money. I'm like, what? Where does money come in it? But hey, that's what that person wants. Okay, I don't think I forgot anything. Like a wheel, if you think of a wheel, that could be more of a progress coming, like you're working on thing, or it could be a travel thing. You can make a travel thing if you so choose. Yeah, definitely let me know, because like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm obsessed with Chinese culture. I'm obsessed with Japanese culture, Korean culture. Something about the old school. Stop it. It's something about the, I don't know. I don't have a definition. I just feel that I had a past life in one of those cultures because I'm so drawn to them. Aside from my Celtic and Norse, I had to have lived in a time period that dealt with them and honored them and respected them. Just had to. Okay, so if there is nothing else, guys, and no other further questions, like I said, I gave you 3 books to go and look into. This one, fantastic book. Great book, too, just for if you're just doing regular tea magic. Lost my little mini one. And then the little mini guy here. And this is, I think she got this on Amazon if I'm not mistaken, too. So if you type in, like, small tea leaf book, this does come up. I know I had another cover on it. It got lost, of course, so I take the blue one. Plus, it's easier to conceal, and no one really knows what it is, so when I stick it in my purse, and, you know, if I got nosy someone, they won't see it. All right, so if nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got a little bit from it on how tea leaf readings can work. You can do it any way you so choose. This is just my version of it. But, yeah. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys do this and then want to stop back over here on the comments and let me know, you know, what you guys got for your readings and if it felt connected or if you tried it on someone else, I really do want to hear about it. Why? Because I love it. I love hearing everyone else's experience, and I know you guys got some experience coming, so I can't wait to hear from you later on. All right, well, I love you guys. Blessed be my sisters, and I will see you, I think, next week. Till then, blessed be.